Y'all, I feel like the girl's gonna fight me either way. So I'm just gonna get this video and we'll see where this goes.
Get busy in here, get busy in here. Yeah, my squad run deep. Yeah, we really in here. I swear whatever you want, you can get it in here. Comedy or the drama, it's a mixture in here. But you love it in here. Yeah, you love it in here. Got reviews up in here. We got stories in here. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Oh yeah, 3 clicks like the shoes on Dorothy in here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BusyBlu, and I am black. Okay, with another Real House recap and review. Make sure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe. Why have you not subscribed? Why have you not liked the video yet? I'm gonna give y'all a second to like it now. That being said, we're going to be reviewing and recapping Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 5. Too much. Too much. If I'm going to give this episode a rating, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and I want y'all to put y'all's in the comment what number it will be, I'm going to give this episode an 8. Because of everything that went on. But I'm a team twirler, and that gave me a 3. I don't know. It was so much going on, and I'm trying to figure out everyone's feelings and how they're coming together. And it's I don't know. Anyway, let's start off with where we were. Shamia, you don't got a doorbell? What was it with everybody having a hey girl? Why do you not have a doorbell? Why was nobody able to ring the doorbell? Okay, y'all don't got a doorbell down there. But anyway, she's hosting something at her house. Angela's knocking at the door. Okay, and she's like, "Oh, so good to see you." What I do love, which is it's like it's a stark contrast to what we see later on. Shamia didn't like what Angela said. Angela didn't like what Shamia said. Shamia talked about Angela's physical appearance. Angela talked about how she's the hype man. We went back and forth. Shamia put a stick in olive oil, and now we friends. You get what I'm saying? Now we friends. I like that. Like life's not that serious. It's not that serious. Girl, let's move past it. Brit, she come knocking at the door. So they all come in, and they sit down and have a conversation. They talk about the event in the ghetto, the vault, and Shamia was like, "Girl, I thought it was a great event to the end of the event," and it's like, I know it was just too much that was going on. Brit says, "I haven't slept since that night." They kept saying yesterday. So I feel like these were like 1 or 2 days after. Like there was no space or time in between. These girls were on a schedule. So Britt was like, "Yeah, I really hated what happened yesterday. I couldn't sleep." Angela was like, "Y'all, bitch, those girls cussed me out at that restaurant. They asked me if we needed extra security in Bankhead, girl. Do they not already have that? I know they got the security cameras, ADT, Ring, whatever, around the business." But she said that she could not hear enough from the owner how this is just very beneath me, and do we need extra security and what's going on, right? So outside of that, Shamia was like, "Okay, so what's actually happening?" Because I feel like it escalated really quickly, and I don't understand. Brit, she said, "Brit, I felt like you were going on." Oh, here we go. The girls love to trap me and text me when I'm doing a video. You kept going on and on and on. I am gonna be fair to you though. Kenya kept cutting you off. And this is where I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up. This is the reason why I'm having a hard time this season or with this franchise specifically. We know too much. We know entirely too much. We know how a show is created, who helps create it, what the timesheets are, we just know too much. And so then it gives leverage to other people who feel like they don't solve the puzzle. And it's frustrating to watch because then some of these people can't be themselves, or if they are themselves, you hear other people being like, the production company did, the producer said that she needed. We've removed reality from Real Housewives of Atlanta. We will never be able to get back there. Where, oh my God, Nene was really mad at Kim. Or Kim was really mad at Candy, and Candy was really mad at this person, and Kenya really was upset with Kim Fields. We will never be able to get back there. And you want to know why? Because we know too much. And now everybody think that they are a showrunner or a show producer. I can't even begin to explain how everybody's like, I think production told Kelly to feel this way, and I think production told Brit that she need to. We've removed the sense of these people probably themselves wanted to do this. And that's why my review is not going to be like the others, but also it's not going to be the most liked because people love to come into my comments. What do you truly original? Actually, there were girl. So is this a reality show or not? If y'all want me to treat it like a reality show, then I'll treat it like a reality show. But if everybody coming into my comments actually production, so then I'm gonna look at this as a soap opera. Since y'all know so much. Anyway, Shamia felt like Kenya kept cutting her off. They showcased a space and time where Kenya did cut off Brit. I did hear from several influencers, well, that wasn't really cutting off. If somebody who's actually in the scene is saying that she cut you off, who are we to be like, well, that wasn't enough? Anyway, after that, Britt was like, look, I just felt like I was being disrespected. My feelings kept being minimized. She was ignoring me, or she was minimizing my feelings. And Angela, she was like, I wrote that question. I didn't think it was gonna turn out that way. Which is interesting because a lot of people felt like production put that question in. They just want to gear things up, and that's why they wrote that question. Angela was like, after the walk with you, I heard my friend's side. So I put that question in. Was it messy? I don't know. But she understood her side when they went on their walk and talk, and that's why she did that question. Angela did also then realize, like, girl, I think my question wasn't really the problem. You already had some stuff gearing up outside of me. So Britt said that at the end of the day, she did feel bad after what happened because she doesn't want Kenya to feel like she was gonna threaten her or do anything like that. She got pews, and she felt like, I know people are about to hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it again. I understand Brit's feelings. I'm not saying that they're right. I understand them. How dare you disrespect me, girl? Keep doing this stuff for the cameras, girl. I got guns and I got everything else. Like, stop playing with me. Not that I will use them on you, but I'm about that life. And that's it. I'm about that life. Keep playing with me. Overall, though, Brit reflected and she realized, like, that was too much. I went overboard. I shouldn't have. I think just the atmosphere and everything that I have going on came over me, and it was just a lot. And they said, well, you should tell Kenya that. Overall, Brit feels like I'm a sweet girl. I lead with kindness, okay. And I just want to make sure that things are okay. Shamia said, oh, speaking of, Angela, did you talk to your husband? Because my best friend said that she had some news on your husband. And Angela said, girl, no. And she ain't the first woman, and she won't be the last. I ain't worried about that stuff. Okay, moving on. Then we get to Porsha. Porsha goes to the Kenya Moore Hair Spa. It's been a crazy day. They're gonna be looking at models, coochie crack, coochie crack, coochie crack, coochie crack. And who want to participate in the hair show. Do they still do those hair shows down in Atlanta? I wonder. Porsha likes her relationship with Kenya, and it took them a long time to get there, but she likes where they are and she wants to stay there. Kelly comes in. Can I tell you how much I appreciated Kelly this whole entire episode? That's a friend. That's a friend. And I loved Kelly this entire episode. I'm gonna do a members only episode about what I'm going through, but I need people like that in my corner. Okay. So Kelly comes in. She was like, girl, you got security and all of this stuff. Girl, mine's outside. Portia's like, I am my security. I know that Porsha like to rock 'em, sock 'em about robots. Okay. She like to take the girls down. However she can. So she like, oh, girl, I don't need security. Okay, I am my security. Outside of that, Kelly was like, I love my relationship with Kenya. I don't know what the thing that she has going on with Brit, but I want this to blossom. So the models come in. This was stupid. I'm sorry. This was stupid. They were just gonna put wigs and dresses on there on these people anyway. Like it could have been a Coochie Crack King from Queen from Cynthia Bailey's thing. Is that still open? She's making dreams come true. Excuse me? She's making dreams come true. It could have just been those. Did the Bailey agency sponsor? Did the Bailey agency provide models for this? Where is the Bailey agency? Anyway, they go through the models. I didn't think it was that important. Whatever. Then they go around by what happened. And Porsche was like, well, did you invite all the girls? She was like, everyone is invited. Did you invite Brit? She does this thing. And I told y'all this the last episode. Well, I didn't specifically invite her, but all the girls were invited. She like, that's those little things. I'm sorry. And I'm Team Toro, but I'm not above seeing what she does. I mean, well, I didn't reach out and say that she's invited, but she was on the list of the rest of the girls. Because if I was pushed, I'd be like, well, the girl, did you care if I came or not? Because then I would love to hear if she would have said, oh, no, I made sure you were on the list. Can you know what she's doing? Either way, we talked about what happened. We going back and forth, and it was like too much. And Porsha was saying that, it was crazy. And then Brit took a left turn and Kenya disengaged. So now Porsha is the Kenya defender. This, like all of this Freaky Friday, she's now talking to Kelly. Kenya disengaged, and that's really what happened because Brit took it too far. Okay, at the table it was easy going on, but then when you start mentioning weapons and stuff, that's a little bit too much. And Kenya says, look, I don't feel like I did anything. It was her angst, her disrespect, that was against me, and that was a lot. Kelly was like, well, hold on, sis. Like, let's be clear. I feel like that was an isolated event. I ain't never seen my friend act like that. I don't know what was going on with her, but let's be clear. Like, y'all not gonna just come down on my friend. Like, give it a second. I've never seen her act like that. That's cool. And Kenya was like, well, just say that. Just say you don't know that. But I'm gonna have somebody do a background check on her. Porsha beat you. Anyway, next scene, we get to Angela. This was an interesting scene. Angela goes out to eat with her daughter, Amari. She was dating Amari's dad, and I guess he was unalived when she was 7. So she felt like they had a close bond. She loves her children. And she's really, really proud of having them. So then Amari was like, girl, why is it just me and you? What happened to grandma coming? And Angela said, well, grandma said I need to talk to you. What's going on? So Amari was like, well, I came to the house to get the car. And they were telling me I have to pay for the car. I don't know if it's gas she had to pay for. I don't know what it was. But she had to pay to use the car that you bought for them. And you know what? I think that, you know how you have to do conversations outside of the kids or give kid appropriate. Well, I don't know. The lady's grown. She's old enough to have a marriage. Um, she kept bringing up the stuff that you paid for, the stuff that you did. I feel like Angela is expressing this stuff to her children, like her frustrations about her family, how she takes care of them, what she's buying for them, this and that. Now, her daughter, Amari, seems like she's at the age where she can hear that type of stuff, and it's cool. But it does get murky when now your daughter is like, Mom, I'm gonna pay for all of this. Y'all get what I'm saying? Anyway, they went back and forth. Her sister got in her face. I want to know what sister it was. Was it the one you just had brunch with? Okay, the one who's like, I got a man, and I hate that you got a man. I want to know what sister it was. So, Angela says she bought a house for her mother, who wouldn't want to buy a house for their parent, and then it's getting murky because her daughter actually stayed with them, which is weird. Did your daughter stay with them because Charles was like, she's not coming in? Why was she living in that house with them? Anyway, Amari basically was like, look, she lived in the house with her grandmother and her sisters. It was getting weird, so that she decided to move out. And she's actually telling her mother, you need to stop supporting them. Like, you're doing way too much for them. So much so that the things that you give to them, we can't even reap the benefits of. Girl, if you got a car in the house, nobody using it, let me go to the store. I'm my mother's daughter, and you telling me I can't? So I'm also on Angela's side. Like, what do you want me to do? This is my mom, and I finally made it. We didn't have it easy growing up or whatever, so I'm trying to do my best. And I don't want to cut my mom off. She's sick. We learned that her mother's bipolar. I don't know if she's still taking her medication because Angela said that she's self-proclaimed healed. I don't know what that means. So maybe her mother is still having episodes or whatever. But Angela's like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is my family. You know, I got it, they got, which is really, it can be frustrating and toxic in our community. Anyway, basically Amari was like, well, I need you to protect me. Like, not them, me. And she was like, girl, protect you. You went off and got married. And what about that? It made me so frustrated how dismissive the daughter was about it. Okay, so I didn't talk to you. And she's like, you're my best friend. I talked to you about everything. You didn't want to talk to me about this. And when Amari said back to her, girl, it's only 4 months. Y'all making it a big deal than it needs to be. You're married. I'm making a bigger deal than what it needs to be. You're married. You're married. What do you mean? So then Amari, she starts to cry. She was like, I can't go back in time. I can't change things. And I don't think she would have. And it was like a woe is me at this point. But it's like, no, you need to sit with the responsibilities of the actions that you took. Girl, you got married. You didn't tell your family. People are upset about at you about that. Sorry. So then Angela's like, let's go. We got to leave or whatever. So I don't know. Girl, you need to sit in this and you need to reflect. I'm sorry you got to cry over this lobster, but that's what happened. Then we get from there, we get a Brit scene. Brit is going out and meeting up with Porsha. Child, this scene had me thinking to myself, Jigga what? Jigga who? We get Brit. What's unfair to Brit in this moment, in my opinion, what's unfair to Brit at this moment is that everyone believes that she's not acting in response to what happened. And like it's not her character to be apologetic or sad or fearful or remorseful. Because I keep hearing a lot of people being like, the production. What about if she actually felt like, I really did? Y'all saw how obsessed she is with Kenya. What if she really was like, the person I looked up to the most got scared of me? Like, I don't like that. And I want to do whatever I can to make up that. I'm not saying that's what was going on, but it could be a possibility. So she meets up with Porsha. She was like, what's up with you? Everything was a little cray-cray. Brit says she feels like she's crossed the line with some of the stuff that she was saying. She wishes it never happened, and she doesn't want anyone to feel threatened. Porsha says she was shocked. My problem is about this scene is that Porsha has put hands on so many people throughout this show. And now you're going and talking to someone who didn't put their hands on someone or anyone and just said, I got the things if you want to rumble. Now you're coaching me. Y'all remember that time that Nene was like, you shouldn't do it. And then Porsha said, girl, didn't you put your hands on someone? Oh, sorry. Didn't you choke Kim? And Porsha said, Nene said, is that on tape? If I did, I was smart enough to not have it on tape. She did not deny doing it. Porsha, with your violent history, you now coming down to talk to Brit and tell her that she's behaving poorly, hated it. So Brit was like, look, it's getting frustrating to me because it feels like once Kenya gets around a group, she has this snooty personality. And the thing is, Porsha has seen it. And she has been there. Because when they showed the clip of Porsha walking away from that dinner where her and Candy got into a fight or whatever, and Kenya followed her, Porsha was just like, please, can you just leave me alone? Please, can you stop following me? And she's like, nope, everybody needs to come. We're just trying to talk. Porsha got irritated, girl, but I'm not talking to you. She knows what Kenya does. So Brit says she feels like everything she was doing was dismissive and it was nasty. She felt like she was being targeted. And then Portia's like, well, she didn't do it to Kelly. She didn't do it to any of the other girls. No, she didn't. No, she probably didn't. But that has nothing to do with me. I was with Brit. I was with Brit. That's nothing to do with me. How she responds to other people has nothing to do with me. When two people joined that season, we had Drew and we had, what was the drunkies girl's name? Either way, she took the drunk girl under her wings. And then she treated Drew like trash. Remember the meetings and the dinners and everything she used to go to? Like, But she took the other girl under her wings. We've seen this before. Everybody, I don't know why everybody's acting like that's not Kenya. It's not. Porsha was talking about something. Everybody comes in with preconceived notions of her. Girl, there's a such thing as preconceived notions and then repetitive actions. Kenya has notoriously not been nice. Notoriously not been nice. Sorry. And if she's really gotten to the point where she's changed, I would love for people to reflect and understand that she's changed. But not disregard someone who is new to the group and saying, I feel like she's doing that to me. Because you've gone through it before. You could even be like, you know what? I know Kenya, this is how she starts off, but trust me, it'll fizzle out. Anyway, Porsha told Brit that she took it too far and Kenya felt afraid. But we got Rocky Balboa here sitting across from her, and she's not afraid. What are your triggers? Y'all remember that dinner? We just trying to figure out what your triggers are. Are you on medication? And Porsha said, I'm not on no damn meditation. Porsha said, look, it was heated in the moment. I felt like you stepped across the line when you brought up the pew pew or whatever. And then I'm thinking to myself, you drag someone across the stage. You beat up your assistant. You drag someone across stage because she held a what are those things called? A wand or whatever. You beat up your assistant at a Christmas party. You tried to fight Cynthia on a boat. You beat up or at least got into a fight with other people's family members. It felt like you wanted to beat up the girls when they were trying to figure out who was going glamping. But she took it too far because she only mentioned something. Okay. After that, we get a scene with Angela and Charles. Charles is frying chicken. He don't want to be bothered. He didn't know the cameras was coming today. He comes upstairs and he's like, what's going on? Angela basically is like, look, girl, I'm going to the event. I want you to come with me. Can you come with me? Because I'm the only person who's married and their husband want to be around. He's like, I'm not dealing with any of this stuff. She talks about Porsha knowing something or having some knowledge about Charles. Charles says she barking up the wrong tree. And to be honest, I saw that video clip of how he was thrown out of Madison Square Garden. I think she is barking up the wrong tree. And says, look, at the end of the day, Charles don't care about the rumors. He don't care about all of this stuff that's going on, and everybody else needs to let it go too. He also feels like, look, I don't even talk to my sister. Why are you bringing your sister stuff to me? Girl, I can't help you with that. Moving on. We get to Kenya Moore's event. I broke this up into segments. I'm tired. You get Kelly. Kelly is headed to go to Brit. So we just see her the whole entire time going to Brit. I'm going to break this up so it makes sense. We get everybody coming to the event. These step and repeat. Everybody's coming. They love Kenya. They're so excited for Kenya. They're so happy for what she has going on. Miss Lauren shows up, so excited. Kenya was the first person to teach Miss Lawrence how you put attachments to weave. I don't know. And then throughout this period, you got Kelly and Brit. I'm combining all this stuff together. They head over together. Brit comes in with white flowers. She says, you know what? I feel like this will be able to help me. Now remember, Shamia put a stick in olive oil. She put a stick in olive oil. So Brit is coming with flowers and a card. Like maybe this will smooth things over. And Kelly's like, look, at the end of the day, I got your back. I'm riding this till the wheels fall off. Then Kelly asked her, like, how's everything going on with you? And apparently her aunt's going through things. I'm actually going through something very similar where my great aunt, one day she wasn't feeling well. At the end of the week, people she's still in the hospital, but it was almost like cancer went like that. So she's having a hard time dealing with that. She's dealing with this. She's in a stressful new relationship. She's trying to figure out family dynamics. It's just a lot going on. And Kelly says, look, I had the conversation with Kenya and with Porsha, and I let them know I felt like this was an isolated event. You don't normally act like that. Brit says, you know, at the end of the day, though, I was wrong. I did not treat it the best way. If they are upset with me, I 100% understand, and I apologize for it. So hopefully she accepts this apology. And Kelly's like, girl, I think she's going to, because you only have one grand opening. I don't think she's going to do this here. From there, you get the hair show. Nothing to see here. I'm moving on. Drew comes in. She brings Kenya flowers. Then she goes over to Porsha. Shamia and Angela, they made up. They're talking. And then they said, what happened at Angela's event? Brit said that they said that Brit was at the next level. She was talking about the conversation. It was going to the next level. She apologized, and that, you know, even if No, she wants to apologize, and even if Kenya doesn't receive it, it would be okay for her to apologize. Porsha was like, look, I don't think that if Brit comes, that apology is going to help. Like, I think she's gone too far, which is true. Kenya thanks Angela for being there, but also for being the only one who reached out to her after the event. And Angela was like, look, girl, I mean, she didn't say I wrote that note or question, but she did say, I don't think you deserve that. Then we get to Brit and Kelly, and they're showing up. People are surprised that Brit and Kelly are even there. Did anybody notice Kenya was getting drunk? Okay. She was taking Patron after Patron after Patron after Patron. But everybody was shocked that she's there. Porsha said, girl, you might as well put those plans back into the hearse you came in, girl. Okay, dead on arrival. Which then frustrates me because you know how Kenya acts, but you're trying to tell Brit that it wasn't what it was, but you're also saying, like, girl, put those plans back because you know how Kenya do. So do we agree that Brit is experiencing this same Kenya, or is she making it up? Yeah, get what I'm saying? Why would Porsha say, girl, put those plans back, if you are also at a dinner telling Brit, girl, she didn't mean it like that. She actually wasn't coming with that type of heat or whatever. So let's just try to smooth things over. I don't think it was that serious. But then at the other event, he was like, girl, I've been here before, girl. Put those plans up. So is Brit experiencing the same Kenya that you experienced or not? Anyway, Drew comes over. So tired of this stuff. She goes over to Porsha. And she was like, look, I've been trying to have a conversation with you. I haven't been able to have a conversation with you. Porsha's like, girl, I'm paying you dust. I actually don't have anything to say to you. All I'm saying is that I didn't like how you're handling things. And Drew's like, look, I'm going through a divorce. You're going through a divorce. I thought we can have some commonality. Dennis is not like nowhere in my brain or in my radar, none of that stuff. So I want us to move past it. Porsha said, look, girl, it's so much more than that. And all you needed to do was text, call, do something. I told y'all in my last video, all Drew had to do was say, hey, girl, I got something to tell you about what me and Dennis got going on. Porsha would have picked up that phone quickly, but she didn't do that. At the end of the day, Porsha was like, girl, I don't got no time for any of this, and she leaves. Then Kenya comes into the area. Brit, she brings in her flowers. She's like, hey, thank you so much for inviting me. This is like a lovely event. I just wanted to apologize. Similar to Shamia. Kenya was like, oh, hey, what y'all got going on? Brit, she didn't talk about pew-pews or nothing. She said, okay, it's okay if you ignore me. I'm going to put these over here. Thank you so much. And then she also understood, I'm not going to be where I'm not wanted. So I'm bowing out gracefully. I'll see you all later. This and that. Kenya must have thought that the girl was going to stay. I need everyone in the room. I need the attention in the room. Kenya, you wrong Eddie Long. You are wrong Eddie Long. I'm sorry. And no one can make me believe. Hearing that someone has a pew-pew is very different to me than actually showing something. I was listening to something earlier. It had nothing to do with this. Sorry. And they were saying how intent is very different in these scenarios. Brit could have talked about pew-pews all day long, but can we prove that she had intent to use them on Kenya? And I had to think about that. Kenya had intention on, what's the word I'm looking for? For a lack of a better term, bringing down this woman's reputation for whatever it is. When she talked about, I opened this up for my daughter, this and that, keep it there. This is a beautiful spa. You open it up for your daughter. You really want generational wealth. You want all of this stuff. Then she got into, but then I had a conversation with someone yesterday. We don't know her. We don't know her. Why are you bringing her up? Why are you talking about her? You made this whole thing about Brit Edie. She baited you and you took it. You made your whole event about her. You had everyone gather around. Come on, Vominos, everybody, let go. You had everybody come around so you could talk about Brit Edie. We don't even know her. You could have been like, people have been trying to tear me down, and I'm still standing 10 toes down, even people in this cast. But I'm still going forward. I'm still moving forward. No. You brought out one poster board. Okay, look at her. The changes in her face or whatever it was. Okay, fine. Again, kudos to Kelly. I'm not doing this with y'all. She brought up the second poster board. She used to be in a video. Okay, we have plenty of photos of you and videos. Wasn't you on Twa too? And what was you doing in that movie? And I'm a Kenya Moore stan. But this ain't it, sis. This ain't it. Call me Cynthia Bailey and fight me like y'all fighting her right now. Then she pulls that out. I love Kelly getting up and being like, girl, we all been hoes. You ain't no different from all of us. Girl, we all been hoes. Let me get out of her. Girl, it's time for us to go. I also do like the fact that she didn't say it. Yeah, that girl's getting dirty in there. It was just like, girl, we gotta go. We gotta leave. When she brought out the third poster board, third one, those were recently printed because they still had the stickers on the back. Utterly disgusted. What is I thought we was talking about hair. I thought we came here to talk about shampoo and moisturizers, conditioners. Why am I seeing this lady's nut? Yeah, no for me. It's a no for me. And what I did realize, like Kenya was seeing red from the beginning. Y'all remember when she was like, somebody, and that nasty girl brought me flowers. Take these flowers out. They're not good intent. And Kelly was like, let me at least get the card. No, throw that card out too. She was disrespectful to Kelly. She brought out the other pictures, and Shamia was like, this is low. This is way too much. Don't tell me, shut up. Don't tell me nothing. This is not low. She threatened me with the da-da-da. She didn't, sorry, because people feel differently about whether or not it was a threat. Telling other people to shut up, she needed confirmation bias. She needed someone to just tell her this is the right thing to do. You better show those pictures of her sucking D because she said that she may have a pew at home. You're justified, Kenya. No one isn't. At some point, you have to look at yourself and be like, because I don't self-reflect all the time in the moment. But I will go back to my husband and be like, was I wrong? Do you think I was wrong? She telling people to shut up and don't say this and I'm right, this and that. Disgusting. When Porsha Williams Stewart Guabadia decides that she has to exit the room, you've gone to, and we know the stuff Porsha Williams Stewart Guabadia has done. When Porsha leaves the room, you know you've gone too far. You know you've gone too far. And she's showing all of this at your spot. Oh, but I thought we were talking about shampoo. What's this, honey? I thought we were giving scalp massages. What's this, honey? Then everybody's leaving. Everybody's shy. Nobody, Bravo couldn't play the clip. People getting outside. Porsha was like, take this mic and think off of me. And the way y'all doing Kenya, do me like that. Act like I wasn't even at this event. I don't even want to be here. It was distasteful. It was classless. It was tacky. It was disgusting. Outside of that, to do it at your own event was even more diabolical and disgusting. y'all go on trips and do y'all. You could have done that at the Vault. Try to do it at your own event, showing people at your own event. Nasty work. And you thought you were gonna win this one because she said that she had pew pews. So I showed her on her knees. And also that was a private event that you heard those words for. And then you, because I don't know, have those other people in there. Michelle Brown could have been in the room. You showed that to several different people. And there were bloggers in the room. This could have got out and spread so fast and so far. You didn't think Kenya just saw red. And then I hated the fact that Cynthia came to you and was like, look, girl, this ain't it. And I don't think Kenya wanted to hear anything but you showed her. Didn't I get that heifer together? Didn't I set that heifer straight? That's all you wanted to hear. Maybe it was the scheme that Ty set up to come to us with the book. That's all she wanted to hear. I love Kenya very, 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 very much. This is not it. And it's way beneath you. Way below you. And if the people are in agreement that this was the right approach, then that's where they think you should be. You have to think as an individual, if people are agreeing with the way you handle this, it says something about how those people feel about how you handle conflict. I don't want anyone to think that I would ever do something like that to anyone, even on Mad Day. But if the people agree with you on how you reacted and how you responded, you need to self-reflect because that's how they think that you would act. And that says a lot about you and the people who support you. With that being said, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I'm tired. Work got me scratched. If y'all want to know more about me, what do y'all think about everything that went on? Y'all think Kenya did too much or she did too little? How do y'all feel about Brit's apology tour? Y'all think it was our production? Production put this stuff together. I was on a panel. Make sure y'all watch me on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. I'm not talking on this panel. And make sure y'all watch me on the Whether You Like It or Not panel. They was like, I think production put it in there. Yeah, but then we hear that Angela put it in there. So what's what? I don't know, y'all. Put it in the comments, y'all rating 1 through 10. If you all want to know more about me and everything else I have going on, you can find me on Instagram and on X, BusyBlu, no space, no E. You should also be able to find me on Twitch, where this is definitely streaming right now. I love you all. This was nasty work. Outside of that, I'm about to go get busy, and you all stay busy. Till next time.